Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo perkenalkan nama saya Muhammad Angga Fernanda dari Kelas MNJ 23 Dengan NPM 2341150. Di sini saya akan menjelaskan tentang accounting equation. Accounting comes from the word accounting, which is the science of calculating and recording transactions related to company finances. Accounting is indeed important as a method of recording company financial transactions so that later there is no misuse of budgeted funds. One of the important accounting materials to learn is the basic accounting equation. This basic equation can provide a big picture of a company's assets, debt, and capital during a certain accounting period. Apart from that, basic accounting equations are also used to carry out simple company bookkeeping. Understanding the accounting equation. The basic accounting equation is a calculation that can later project the wealth, debt, and capital owned by the company. As we know, the general principle of accounting that we know is that there is a balance between income and expenditure, or a balance between the assets, liabilities owned by the company and its obligations. The existence of a balance between the two parts of course must be analyzed more deeply using the basic accounting equation. Later, the basic accounting equation will be used to assess the company's ability to manage company finances. Prinsip persamaan akuntansi. This equation represents the relationship between a company's assets, liabilities, and equity. Assets are what a company owns, while liabilities are what it owes. Equity represents the ownership interest in the company. The equation must always balance, meaning that the total assets must equal the total liabilities plus equity. Rumus persamaan dasar akuntansi. Rumus dari persamaan dasar akuntansi atau PDA adalah sebagai berikut. Harta aktiva equals hutang plus modal pahiva. Seperti yang kita ketahui, semakin besar hutang pada sisi pahiva, maka akan menyebabkan ketidakseimbangan pada sisi aktiva. Jika terjadi suatu transaksi yang tidak transparan atau tidak dilaporkan, nantinya juga akan terlihat dengan penghitungan prinsip persamaan dasar akuntansi tersebut. Agar terciptanya konsep transparansi tersebut, penting pula adanya auditing yang lebih dikenal dengan konsep good corporate governance. Manfaat persamaan akuntansi. Berikut berbagai manfaat yang bisa didapatkan dari tabel persamaan dasar akuntansi. Dapat digunakan sebagai sumber catatan. Sumber catatan ini nantinya bisa mempermudah proses pencatatan transaksi keuangan. Persamaan dasar akuntansi memuat informasi mendasar terkait transaksi keuangan yang masuk maupun keluar dari rekening perusahaan sehingga nantinya memudahkan proses pembuatan laporan keuangan. Acuan dalam pemeriksaan saldo. Sebagai sarana untuk memeriksa besarnya saldo yang masuk maupun keluar dari rekening perusahaan. Berbeda dengan laporan keuangan yang menyediakan laporan terperinci, persamaan dasar akuntansi menyediakan transaksi keuangan secara garis besar. Alat untuk mengoreksi ketepatan saldo. Manfaat berikutnya adalah sebagai sarana koreksi ketepatan antara saldo pada sisi aktiva maupun sisi passiva. Perhitungan saldo pada kedua belah pihak tabel persamaan dasar akuntansi nantinya menyelesaikan angka yang seimbang jika semua transaksi telah dilaporkan dengan sebaik mungkin. Components in the basic accounting equation. We have discussed a little above about the two sides that must be present in a basic accounting equation table. Namely the asset side and the liability side. Well, of course these two sides cannot just be filled in with what includes assets, debts, or capital. To clarify the various components in the basic accounting equation, here is a review. 1. Asset account, assets. We know the term, assets, as a resource owned by a company to carry out various business activities in a certain accounting period. Assets can also be called treasures or wealth of the company concerned, which can later be used to carry out the company's vision and mission. Asset is a term for something that brings benefits to the company. Examples include buildings, vehicles, land, and so on. Cash in cash and cash checks are also included in company assets. The asset portion will later increase if the company's assets increase, and decrease if vice versa. However, what is interesting is that it turns out that there is a depreciation value on assets in the form of goods. For example, machine equipment will definitely experience damage at some point. Apart from that, the machine will also experience a decrease in value if it is wanted to be resold, so that the assets section can expand and shrink according to real-time conditions. 2. Liability accounts, liabilities. As the name suggests, a liability account is a type of account that contains the company's responsibility towards certain parties. This account can also contain various company liabilities arising from an event in the past. For example, obligations arising from company debt to seek capital. This obligation usually has to be paid immediately at a predetermined deadline. Liabilities should also be paid as soon as possible if a company's business activities have generated profits. The liability portion will increase if the liability account increases, and vice versa if it decreases. 3. Capital account, equity. The equity account is a capital account which is the remaining interest in the company after deducting liabilities. In short, the equity section is filled with the remaining capital value after deducting liabilities. That way, both parts of the assets and liabilities can obtain a balanced value. Usually equity accounts are part of the assets held by third parties, such as share owners or stakeholders. This ownership can increase and decrease according to real conditions. These are some of the accounts included in the basic accounting equation. Apart from these three things, there are many more terms that can be included in the basic accounting equation table. Examples include income, expenses, and personal expenses with company funds. Pengantar-Accounting terhadap persamaan akuntansi. Seperti yang kita ketahui, table persamaan dasar akuntansi berisi aktiva serta pasiva yang dimiliki oleh perusahaan. Tujuannya adalah mendapatkan nilai yang benar-benar seimbang pada kedua sisinya. Lalu apa Pengantar-Accounting terhadap table persamaan dasar akuntansi? Mempengaruhi bagian aktiva pasiva transaksi keuangan yang dilakukan oleh perusahaan akan bisa secara langsung mempengaruhi bagian aktiva atau pasiva dari table persamaan dasar akuntansi. Transaksi tersebut akan tetap bisa mendatangkan nilai seimbang dari kedua belah table jika transaksinya transparan dan tidak ada yang disembunyikan. Menambah mengurangi salah satu sisi proses transaksi keuangan yang dilakukan perusahaan bisa saja mengurangi sisi aktiva atau aset perusahaan, namun juga menambah bagian pasiva, baik pada bagian hutang atau modal. Sehingga yuan yang berkurang pada bagian aset tidak hilang begitu saja, akan tetapi hanya berpindah pada sisi lainnya. Penambahan pada suatu sisi jika perusahaan mendapatkan penghasilan pendapatan, maka bagian pasiva modal akan bertambah. Akan tetapi jika ada beban yang harus dibayarkan, nantinya beban akan mengurangi bagian modal. Nantinya modal serta beban yang ditambahkan akan mempengaruhi bagian aktiva. Sekian penjelasan dari saya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.